Okay, I'd like to welcome all of you to another one of our co-founder meetings and trainings, and I've got a big announcement to make. I'll just start off with that right off the bat. Let me just share my screen. Okay. So the announcement is on Wednesday, April 2nd. Wednesday, April 2nd, we are going to launch the new coin for the $1,000 pool. We're not going to open up the pool, and I'll explain that in a moment. We are going to launch the coin first, and we're gonna get that high enough before we open up the pool. Okay, the $1,000 pool. So get the word out to be here on Wednesday, April 2nd, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to launch the new coin. Pretty exciting, right, guys?
Yes,
You
very.
bet. Yes.
Okay, so something to keep in mind as we launch this coin. We're going to want to be pushing right about that time on everything because things are falling into place quickly now on that first domino, that one I'm trying to been knock over for a while of filling orders the same day people pay for them. We're really close to making it happen. And so, in fact, I'm glad Tim is here. Tim, I hope you got the word that we filled an order for you, buddy. Did you hear?
I did. I got a message from Maria. That was awesome.
All
Made
right,
my
good.
day.
All right, well, good. Well, you need to get a hold of your new referral, and we've given the homework assignment to watch all the videos on the account page, okay? And then
Okay.
they know that you're going to be the one helping them to put money in their wallet. So you might want to kind of get to know them a little bit, kind of chat with them. Hey, what do you do for a living? What, get a summary of their life story. And it's better that people put more than enough money in their wallet than not enough, right? So that's good advice. Okay. Let me swing back to that topic in a moment, but let's go back to launching the $1,000 coin. Now, there's only going to be 10,000 of these $1,000 coins. So they're going to be very scarce. So we want to get the price up as high as possible before we open up the pool, because what I'm learning is that you guys are, so many people have really taken advantage of the cooperative effort to help everyone, get kind of in that elite strategy, which is above and beyond the $111 strategy. And we got in the neighborhood of about 1,500 people making a daily payment in the $100 pool, okay, which is really surprising to me. So that the only way that's really possible is that the people are being paid back so they can just keep doing it every day. Well, that means that they're accumulating a lot of coin that they're technically not paying for. It's just recycling the resources to do that, which is fine. It's okay. It's part of the wealth creation part of what we're doing, and there's nothing wrong with that. So I'm anticipating that the same thing's going to happen in a $1,000 pool. And that's why we need the price to be as high as possible before we open up the pool, because we're not talking about $100. We're talking about $1,000 every time we distribute coin. People are getting $1,000 worth of it. So we don't want them to get too big of a piece of a coin, knock things out of balance. So we're going to work on the price. And plus, by that time, we'll be working on hitting all of our price targets. Okay. So with all those coins. Once we get the price up to something reasonable, and it may be just what is reasonable might actually be $4 million per coin. uh, once we have that happen, then we'll open up the pool, and then you guys will be able to start participating in the pool. So people need to understand that there's a huge value in the wealth creation portion of what we're doing, and that ongoing, you're going to want to buy up as much coin as you possibly can. Everybody's different how much each can do, but while you're, taking the time it takes to uh, qualify to get the co-founder bonus, okay, you're going to want to have as much coin in your MetaMask wallet as you possibly can accumulate before you get the bonus. So that means that should create a lot of buying pressure from people, seeing that there's a great value there. Okay, so we want to get to the price target as quickly as possible, and then we want to stay above the floor on all the coins after that. Okay, and then just keep pushing to new all-time highs on an ongoing basis. So very, very exciting. And it's like a slow moving vision unfolding, but it's speeding up as we get, better and better at what we're doing, and as more of us come together. Okay. So a couple of things I want to do is I want to demonstrate how to use PancakeSwap again, because most likely that's going to be the best place to do these transactions, just like we did before. So you may recall that we recorded the entire experience of launching the $100 coin, the PFS coin. And so we're going to do that again. So it's just going to be a great opportunity just to demonstrate how to do that and how to use PancakeSwap. Let me share my screen.
Hey, Ace.
Sure, who's that? Greg?
Greg, quick
Hey, Greg.
question. Gregory. So does this mean, because I find it so much easier to buy things with just MetaMask, does this
It
mean
is.
we're not going to be able to use MetaMask?
I would say we don't trust MetaMask because we've had problems with it before, right? So,
Well, I had no problem buying PFB with MetaMask. I just couldn't buy PFS or PFI.
right, exactly. So that's the reason why I want people to know how to use PancakeSwap. So I'm going to demonstrate that right now. Let me see here.
Can you record this part?
We are recording.
Perfect.
All right. So the first thing you want to do is get into the wallet that you want to participate in. So I'll just be using this wallet here. So, and I've got 0 PFS, so I'm gonna add a little PFS to this wallet here. Okay. I got enough BNB to do the transaction. So I'm gonna go to PancakeSwap. Okay. And I'm not sure what wallet's connected to it right now. It's opening slowly here. Let's refresh. Okay. Now it's PancakeSwap.finance. Okay. Be aware that that's the correct place to go. Okay. PancakeSwap.finance. If you're on a phone, you just probably need to find the app, PancakeSwap app. Okay. All right. Let me disconnect this wallet. I don't know if it's the same one. It doesn't look like it. So we'll disconnect this wallet that I've got connected already. So you have a button here called Connect Wallet. So that's step one. You want to connect the wallet. I'm going to connect a MetaMask wallet. Okay, so it's going to say, hey, is this what you want to do? Connect. Yes, I do. All right, and then boom. So that right there is the wallet. A32. A32. Okay, that is the same wallet. Then we want to go into trade, and it will take you to the swap area. Okay. And I'm going to need the coin contract address. So I'm going to go to the how-to area on the home page. I'm going to go PFS. Number 5 will give me the contract address. Copy that and be ready for that. And we're going to want to do a trade here. We're going to want to do a trade using USDT. So we'll start there and change the cake. I'm going to put in the contract address of PFS. Okay. And then I'm going to select it. Says I've got 0 PFS right now. And so let's go ahead and do a trade. Let's see here. Into the amount. Let's see here, $50. Okay, no problem. It doesn't seem to have a problem with giving me that much coin, 0.003. So I'm going to click swap. If it's too much, it asks you to confirm, or if it's too much, it won't let you do the trade. We've noticed that from before. Well, $50 in this case is low. So I'm going to confirm the swap. So 3.5% slippage.
Ace, what defines something being too high? Like,
Yeah,
can you do $200?
Yeah, basically it depends on the liquidity, right? So, and the PFS has got pretty low liquidity. It's got about $500 liquidity. So, right. So it doesn't have a problem doing 50, but it definitely has a point where it's going to say no, right? Anything over like 15 to 20% slippage is going to have a problem. Okay. So just back step. I'll just make that clear. Okay. Let me just put a different number in here just to show you the difference. Let's say I wanted to do 500. Okay. Impact price too high. It won't even let me do anything. I can't do it. Okay. If I wanted to do 400, still too high, but proceed with caution. Okay. So slit is, but it's still not letting me click on anything. So it's not going to work. If I do 300, still too high. Remember, there's only $500 liquidity in this coin right now. If I do 200, now I've got a button here. Notice how the button showed up. Okay. That's how you know. What about 250? Yep, it won't work. So I just want to do 50. Okay. And no alerts. It's coming up blue. So swap right here, 3.8% price impact. So that, it said the slippage tolerance is 0.5. Okay. So very, very minimal slippage. So I'm going to continue to swap. And then I'll confirm that. And that, my friends, is how you do a swap on PancakeSwap. So close the extension, close this alert box, close that. And it says now I've got 0.003 coin here, so I can check my wallet. I had 0 in there before. And now I've got some coin in my wallet now. Okay. And if we go check the price, version 3, I gave the price a boost of about $2,000. How about that? $50 made the price go up by $2,000. Crazy, right? Okay. I'm curious on version 2. PFB.
Ace, what do you mean by versions?
This right here. See right here, PancakeSwap's got more than one version as far as determining what the price is. Okay.
Well,
So
that's confusing.
yeah, I know it's complicated. But see here it says PCV2, that's PancakeSwap version 2. And that's what the Poo Coin app, software uses version 2. Whereas the ApeSpace is using version 3. So you see the PancakeSwap symbol there, and it's got V3 for version 3. Okay. So, unless you're actually staking directly into the coin, it doesn't really mean too much to most people, but you can see there's going to be a bit of a price difference between the two versions. So clearly we're at 16,000 here on version 3, but if I go to version 2 and refresh it, it was 14,286. Yeah, now still 14,286. So the price impact wasn't that much here. So it's interesting how it says the price here 14,286, but over here it has a 16,035 here, right? So probably on version 2, the next person to buy, they're going to be buying at the 14,286 instead of the 16,35, right? So it's just
Well,
basically
what causes the difference in the
it,
two?
it's just called slippage, and it's because of the low liquidity, right? Liquidity is pretty easy to look at when you look at it on version 3 on how ApeSpace puts their information together. So you can see there's $259 USDT against 0.0149 PFS. So that's what's sitting in liquidity to buy and sell the coin. Okay. And it's just interesting how it says it's $15 volume, but I just added 50. So there must be a little bit of a lag for some reason. So I did a $50 transaction there. Don't know why it's only showing. So there's got to be a lag here, right? Must not be completely in. I don't know. Doesn't make sense to me why it's lagging. Anyway, so that's how you use PancakeSwap. And so on April 2nd, you might want to be practiced and know how to use PancakeSwap so that on Wednesday, April 2nd, we normally don't do meetings on Wednesday, so that's why I chose it. So on April 2nd, we are going to launch the new coin, and you'll all figure out why we call the coins what we call them. We'll also announce, the meaning of the the I and the B and the S. What does that mean? You'll find out on April 2nd. All right. So that takes care of that. And the next thing I want to talk about is we are filling orders, and we need everybody to, again, make sure that they have completed their profile. Okay. Because when you're edit my profile. So I just put NA for me on WhatsApp, but you guys should put your phone number here. Okay. Definitely put your phone number there. Okay. Even if you don't have WhatsApp, put your phone number there so that we have a phone number to reach out to you. So copy the Facebook address, right? And put your Telegram address in. It's very important because we want to make it easy for the referrals to contact you. And your job, once you're in touch with your referral that come through the paid signups, your job is to help them understand just how powerful what we're doing is for them. Okay. And the best thing is for them to watch all these videos first, right? If they watch all the videos here, okay, they'll just see how big the opportunity really is. Okay. And then basically you want to help them fund their wallet. And in most cases, most of the time you can just go in here to MetaMask and have them click on buy, and then from there follow the instructions. Okay. And the most common way if you do that is through Transact. And we actually have in step-by-step instructions what that experience will look like right here on the home page. Okay. So you can flip from between the account page and the home page. Okay. And you can see the step-by-step instructions, screenshots, what it looks like on a mobile device. Okay. On how to buy. Okay. Just like that. And if they can afford to put $200 or $300 in there, bingo, that's the best, right? So try not to minimize, how much people load their wallet. If you want to keep your life headache free, maximize that. Okay, maximize what they throw in their wallet the first time, because the idea is they put enough in there they can do several things. Okay, among which $111 strategy costs $111. That's the first thing. The second thing is if they're slow to in their opinion about getting referrals on their own, then you might want to encourage them to pay for a pair of signups. That's $100. So there's 211 right there. And then they're going to need to be making a payment every day. And obviously you're going to want them to make it like an $11 payment every day. Right. So again, $200 or $300 makes a lot of sense. But when you compare the opportunity here, when you put $200 or $300 in to their wallet, so they get a good start here. They're leveraging hundreds of dollars every time they get, coin, right? And if you're part of one of these elite teams that are, sending back the $100, right? Then they're accumulating $100 worth of coin at a price that is on the PFS on a price that's 100 times less than the target price for it. So that's $10,000. So technically, you're showing person not just how to leverage, $111 every day for only $11. You're showing them how to leverage $10,000 every day. Think about that. With the current pricing of everything, you're showing them how to leverage $10,000 every day for only out of their pocket $11 until they get one referral that can cover that cost. It's huge. Okay. So until we get up to our price targets, it's outrageous how big the offer is. So you shouldn't be shy when you get a new referral about asking them to put enough money in there so that they it's not a big deal. Okay. And a lot of people that have joined opportunities, they're used to seeing $200 or $300 price tags on opportunities. Very, very common, especially when it's special like this, So yeah. Too often we drive people all the way to the bottom, and then what we find when we drive them down to the bottom, like, oh, just pay $1 a day, da 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 da, and then work your way up from there. There's no enthusiasm there. They get a referral. Now they're breaking even on $1, and then they get 2 referrals. Now they're only making $1 a day. And to a new person, it's just going to seem a rink-a-dink, and it's going to give them the opposite impression of what we really are. We're a big deal. If you do it the right way, have them come in kind of under the elite strategy and help them understand that they're raking in like $10,000 a day in wealth creation. Okay, with the current setup, and it's very cool they can do that for only $11 a day. It only takes one person below them. And now it's not coming out of their pocket that $11 a day anymore, right? Well, then they'll get a clue because they'll be participating in all 3 pools every day and accumulating coin in all 3 pools every day. And so they need to see that big picture. So the videos that are on that page will kind of do that, but as a human being, you're the person that needs to add the emotion to the equation, okay? Because people are going to respond to your excitement, and that you're excited about how much leverage is built into this thing, the way it stands right now. It's huge. So we're going to get these orders filled as quickly as possible. We're filling, every day now. And then we'll get to the point where we're filling a lot of them every day. And then we should be able to get to the point where we can fill orders in any amount, right? I mean, I wouldn't mind paying for 1,000 people to come to our website every day. I wouldn't mind paying for that, so that we have the potential of signing up to 1,000 people every day. That'd be cool, right? And that would help kick off a lot of momentum and all that. So, and then once people understand with the fast growth happening underneath this whole thing, okay, once they understand that that's what supports, everything else, all that wealth creation, okay, then they'll start to get a clue how valuable that co-founder bonus is of 10x, 10 times, right? That you're going to get 10 times the coin. And that you're going to want to accumulate as much coin in that first year as you can. So that then puts buying pressure on the coin. And the more of this fast growth that is kicking in money on a regular basis, to buy up the coin, that's what's going to create price stability, high liquidity, and that's where we want to get to, because then wealth creation becomes solid when you have price stability. But we don't have people buying every day. We have a handful of people buying every day. But what if a handful turns into 100, which turns into 1,000, turns into 100,000 people buying every day? They're trying to maximize their bonus. And that's what we want until we get the store set up, which is the other part of this. Okay. Until we have the store set up where people have another reason to have the coin, they can use our coins inside of our marketplace that we'll set up. Until that happens, it's going to be, the bonus is driving people to buy coin, because the more coin you have, 10 times a higher number is better than a lower number, right? I hope I'm not going too fast here. I covered a lot of ground here. Did I go too fast? Everybody keeping up?
No, not too fast.
Yep.
I think we're all hanging with you here.
Okay, good deal. Good deal. Okay. Well, it's an exciting time. Anybody want to ask a question regarding this, or they want to put in their 2 cents how excited they are about this, or you're welcome to speak up now. Are you guys excited about this? We're gonna open up the $1,000
Yes.
coin.
Very.
Okay.
Yes.
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 Yeah, we're getting there. We're moving along. Okay. And the orders are being filled, and that's happening. And we still got a couple of bugs that we're ironing out, but it's not affecting apparently most transactions. Far less than 1% of the transactions are impacted by the current bugs. But even the handful that we're dealing with, it just takes my time, trying to help the programmer troubleshoot and figure out what could be creating a bug for particular people. So make sure everything's updated at all times. Make sure your software is updated, your operating systems are updated, your browsers are updated. If you need to clear out your cache, maybe it's clogging up some things. These are usually the reasons that create bugs. But as long as you keep your systems clean, transactions should go forward no problem. Okay, usually. Hey Ed, you got your hand up, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. I got one question that's been working on my mind. I can't quite figure it out, and I'm hoping you can take care of me right now.
Of course, sure, we're happy to.
In the money that we're cycling around, what I want to know is I'm past the 90 days.
Good.
Okay. Now, I can't take out money right now, can I?
When you say take money out, if the money's in once you pass over 90 days, you should start getting a distribution every day, right? That means money's going into your wallet every day. That makes sense?
Well, I see it if you're looking at the transaction page there. I can see it accumulating there, I believe. But if I had it, like I'm short money right now, if I needed $100, could I take it out?
The answer would be yes, but we would discourage you from looking at this be as a source to do that, because the timing is terrible for taking money out.
No,
right?
I understand. I'm just
But
trying to clear up something.
The answer is yes, because the money's in your wallet, right? So what you do with your wallet is kind of like up to you, but realize it has a community impact,
Yeah.
You notice that the prices of our coins have not been going up for a while now, right?
Mhm.
Because everybody seems to have these $100 emergencies, right? So we need less of that, actually. Less people having $100 emergencies and more people just happy to accumulate coin for the next year, right? And that's the mindset we're working towards, Ed. That's what we
Yeah,
want.
I'd rather have $10,000 than 100.
Exactly, right? Why would you spend 10,000 to get 100, right? So
Exactly.
a
Exactly.
future money. But yeah, the answer to your question is it's the, pool funding is about empowering you, and it is a bit of a risk to the whole community to empower the individual, right? And this is why we want our
Right.
coin prices to be so high so that we minimize that impact as much as possible. But with the low liquidity and the low daily volume, anybody selling, just like I pumped up the coin by $2,000 with $50. What do you think if I sell $50? What's going to happen to the price of the coin if I sell $50?
It's going to drop.
Going to drop by thousands of dollars, right?
Right. Right.
It goes both ways. Okay.
Yep. I understand the concept. And I
Okay.
agree with what you're saying.
So the idea is we want people to get excited about accumulation and let let the idea of accumulating cash flow as a way to cover concerns. We all have bills to pay. You know, we all have things that come up that we need to pay money for. So this is why we should be on the hunt to build our team and get as many personal referrals as possible.
Right.
More people sending you money, the better, because eventually you get a blossom, and pretty soon these $11 start blossoming into $100 bills as well. So you start collecting 111 and keep it. And you don't need to send it back, right? Because you
Right.
got a blossom. Same thing's going to be true when we get to the $1,000 level. When it blossoms there, it's going to be outrageous. Very exciting. Cash flowing over $1,000 a day. Just
All right.
takes
Thanks.
just takes one additional leg to do that. You're welcome, Ed. Anybody else? Pretty exciting stuff, huh? Okay. All right. Well, I guess that's it. So we'll keep it short today. I want to thank all of you that do attend for coming. We do appreciate you being here live, and we want to get more people to come. Okay, as we grow, there's actually strength in having more people show up, right? So we want to see everything growing at this point, and the size of these meetings should also start to grow a lot. Okay, so as we're filling these orders, let's encourage the people that filled the order to show up to our meetings. Okay, let them know that that's extremely valuable to you and to them. If you want a team of enthusiastic, happy referrals, make sure that they're really plugged in. You know what I'm saying? Because the more loosey goosey, like pool funding is kind of an afterthought, then they're going to be a pain in your backside. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be a pain in the backside if they're out here, they don't care that much, right? So it's up to you to guide them to care a lot, because, $10,000 a day is a lot of money, And so if you can help them, square up to that kind of wealth creation at a cost of maybe $11 a day until they get one referral that can cover that cost, the enthusiasm should be very, very high. But see, if they don't understand that because they don't show up to any meetings, maybe they're doing other things while they're watching the YouTube video, right? It's just better they come live. So we want to see these meetings, the ones we do, especially on Mondays and Thursdays. We want to see that grow a lot at this point. Okay. And then you'll have a happier, more, a team of people that are excited to be a part of your team and be a part of pool funding because they show up. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to collapse the time that it takes for a person to become a millionaire. So pool funding is a pathway to become a millionaire, but we don't want that to take years, right? We don't even want it to take a year, right? It'd be better if that could happen for more people in much less than a year, right? Now we're opening up the gate to that $1,000 level. that means that it can happen in less than a year, but not without that enthusiasm, not without that excitement. On the individual level, that is the key for the individual to make it to millionaire status. They're going to find themselves very challenged to ever get to millionaire status without enthusiasm and excitement. Show me one millionaire walking around on the planet that somehow got to millionaire status accidentally, and they just kind of clumsily fell into it, and they didn't have to be excited about anything. They just somehow became a millionaire. Show me one of them. Okay.
It's
You're gonna have a
called
hard.
inheritance.
Yeah, okay. There's always people that inherit money, and there's a 1% of 1% that actually become millionaires that way, very, very small group of people. And then they usually blow it, don't they?
Yep.
It's like winning the lottery, you know. Usually people are worse off because they never put something themselves into it, and they didn't value it. So but yeah, other than that, I don't know. You're going to find that millionaires become millionaires because they got excited about something. They dug in and went deep with it, and they became a millionaire because of it, because they went deep, because they got excited, and they had all the answers to all the questions that could come up about that thing, whatever turned them into a millionaire. Okay. And that's just the truth of it. So the fact that you guys show up is great. Now we got to encourage those that are not showing up to realize that they're shortchanging themselves by not being here, that they're missing the energy that can come by coming here. And like so many of you, when you do show up, you have those light bulb moments where the light comes on, and like, you're so glad that you came, and you get addicted to that, right? So some of you are past the point of being interested in coming to these meetings. You're actually addicted to the meeting. Am I right?
Right. Yes.
Yeah, because it feels good to have that light bulb go off and realize that you're on a path to a fortune, into a life that people dream about having. So we want you guys to have that dream life, all of you. And if you're showing up, you are the most deserving. Okay, Ken, you got your hand up. It's always good to hear from you, Ken. How are you?
Doing good, Ace. I just did a Google search. How many people became millionaires from crypto?
Wow.
And
Okay.
here we have the answer. Henley and Partners estimates there to be almost 173,000 crypto millionaires globally, of which over 85,000 of those are Bitcoin millionaires. So here we have an example of somebody that pushed a button at the right time and put a little bit of money into Bitcoin back in whenever, 2011, 2013, or whenever, and lo and behold, some of them are multi-millionaires.
Out of curiosity, go to Google and ask it, how many people became a millionaire by inheritance? Put that in there. Let's see what that pulls up.
Let's see.
I know I haven't,
It didn't happen for you, Joe.
not yet, no.
While many people achieve millionaire status through self-made wealth, a significant portion of millionaires, around 21%, receive some inheritance, but only a small percentage, 3%, received an inheritance of 1 million or more.
Okay, so it's giving us a
Good to know.
percentile. Okay.
Approximately 79% of millionaires in the US did not receive any inheritance at all.
Well, the cool thing about figuring out how to become a millionaire is that if you lose it all, if you figured it out one time, most likely you'll figure it out how to do it a second time, and on and on. So if it's just given to you like in a lottery or like inheritance, and you lose it all, it's probably gone for good, you know.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's been proven, that people that don't know how to handle money, were never taught how to handle money. They get a big windfall like that, and they just do the same thing that they always do. They just spend what they have until it's all gone. And then they're right back where they started from because they didn't learn anything from it or buy it.
yep. And even
Yeah.
even those people that say, okay, if I get a bunch of money, I'm gonna invest it. How many of them are going to invest wisely? You know, where they're going to put it in the right place, right? So there's plenty of people that have lost money that way too because they didn't do there's a path. Well, with pool funding, we're creating probably the easiest path ever to getting to millionaire status. With you and a team of 4 people, you can get there, you know. And that's a pretty small team, right? Compared to most millionaires, what the kind of team they might have to put together doing whatever alternative out there is. Most likely the team size can be bigger than just 4 people. But how we treat our referrals matters, and how our referrals treat their sponsor matters, right? So it's about relationships. And I really believe that if we do this the right way, we end up with what's called unity consciousness, which is really the big picture. That's what we're shooting for. Humanity needs to get there. We need to get to unity consciousness. You know, we need to get there. So, we can't pour our whole time and energy into a device. We need to spend it with people, and we need to spend it with people that are willing to take that journey with you. You know, the people that are unwilling to go on a journey, you know, I hate to say it, but you're much better off leaving them behind. You know, so there's plenty of people I've left behind in my journey, and I'm happy they were baggage I didn't need to carry, you know. So if they're not willing to do for themselves, then they're just going to be a tax on me by having them hang around, you know. So, and that's pretty much every millionaire figures that out. So trust me, you'll get probably a new set of friends along the journey, and to be higher quality people. So, and it's always been a pleasure to meet with you guys, because I consider you guys having a kindred spirit. Your minds are in the right place, your hearts are in the right place. That's why we're together, and I spend time with you, because you're the kind of people I want to be with, and you're the kind of people I want to help to have a the financial means to enjoy a good life while you're here. All right. Well, from there, from how do you say a hunter? From small acorns comes the mighty oak, something like that.
From little acorns to mighty oaks grow.
That's right. That's the scene. There it is. So we may be small now, but this is the time. Everything's kind of fitting into place right now. And a month or two, we'll look back and go, wow, what a pivot point that was. What we'll be talking about this moment, and how we really are starting to speed everything up. And those that are just asleep and they won't wake up, we'll be leaving them behind, because you can't make someone wake up. You just have to say, you got a great opportunity here. Right now is the time to be alert and participate. Okay, because people aren't going to care about you as much as you care about yourself. If you don't care about making things better for yourself, no one's going to care more than that, right? So that's just the reality. We want to encourage people to care a lot, and they should care about everyone, and it should be out of self-love. The more you love yourself, the more you can love others. You find that people have a hard time loving themselves, they have a hard time loving anybody else as well, right? So it's all about spreading the love and making sure that we all want to get to a higher place, and have more resources to enjoy that place when we get there. All right. Well, good meeting, guys. Thank you all for coming to another one of our co-founder meetings. The next one will be on Monday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I look forward to seeing you all there again and a few more. All
Many
right.
more.
We can many more. Yes, why not? Let's call it out. Let's go ahead and have everybody unmute and say bye. See you on Monday.
Bye. See you on
See you
Monday.
on Monday.
Good weekend,
Bye,
everyone.
see you on Monday.
See you on Monday.
See you on Monday.
Bye.
Bye. See you